I wondered how long it would take for them to use her very words to drag this process back into the political mire. I think it's with urgency that we make this appointment tonight so that this community no longer has to endure this sort of partisan politics. This is a candidate, in fact, that was lauded by some of our public speakers here tonight. The chairman of the mathematics department comes to mind immediately with regards to his comments. Mr. President, I am committed to bipartisanship. Mr. Bronson knows that. Mr. Bronson saw me reach across the other side of the aisle and asked to be on this referral earlier this year with regards to the submission of the Plan B by the county executive. Mr. Bronson agreed to participate, first of all, in the formation of a bipartisan work group so that we could get together as Democrats and Republicans to discuss the budget process in 2008 and going forward into 2009. My commitment to bipartisanship should not be questioned, nor should that of this county executive or the members of my caucus. Mr. President, it's for those reasons, among many others, primarily the sparing of this community and this applicant, to having to endure partisan bickering for the next month, that I enthusiastically will vote yes for this appointment. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President. And thank you, Mr. Quattro, for acknowledging my legal skills. In that regard, I should point out the reading of the words that you referred C2-4B4, except as otherwise specifically set forth in this charter. Otherwise set forth in this charter says, the number of trustees and the manner of appointment shall be set forth in section 6306 of the education law, which indicates that it is the legislative body, not the president, not anybody else, the legislative body that makes the appointment and fills the vacancies. Regarding political sideshows, you know, because there's a disagreement doesn't mean it's a political sideshow. Because there is a difference of opinion doesn't mean it's a political sideshow. And yes, indeed, I give you credit, and I did give you credit when you called me and said you had received the referral, or the resume, I guess, and you immediately, while we were still on the phone, emailed it to me. But we did talk about my concern of the timeliness of it. In fact, you pointed out to me when I said, this is business as usual, you pointed out to me, no, it's a little bit better because you got it 24 hours instead of 2 hours before the night of the county election. So there was discussion. I did raise my concerns. I further raised my concerns with County Executive Maggie Brooks when she gracefully, respectfully, and I give her credit and I thank her for calling me today about this appointment in response to a phone call that I made at the behest of President Tom Flynn to reach out to the county executive for a collaborative approach to the appointment to fill a vacancy. Collaboration means to work together. It doesn't mean that we're not going to disagree from time and time again.
Point of order,
It
Mr.
doesn't
President.
mean I'm talking to the
Point of order,
referral.
Mr. President.
Point of order, please.
We are discussing everything except this candidate and his qualifications. This referral is about this candidate and his qualifications, not phone conversations, collaboration, politics, and everything else. Could we have some discussion about this individual, because I find him very unique in his characteristics and his reputation and his experience with MCC. We should be discussing that. That's what's important here.
And Mr. President, let me address the point of order.
To explain his vote.
The point of order is I'm explaining my vote as Legislator O'Brien just spoke for me on that, but I just sat here respectfully listening to Legislature Quattro talk about collaboration. I did not hear Legislator Driscoll stand up and make a point of order to that issue.
He said I better not.
Well, as we know, there's a lot more control on that side of the aisle. At the matter at hand, Mr. President, and I will not belabor it out of respect to Legislator Driscoll, but, you know, we do have an opportunity here. We had an opportunity. I voiced my concern to a number of people on the Republican side of the aisle regarding collaboration and working together, and that it was my concern, albeit my opinion, that words are one thing, actions are another, and clearly action speaks volumes above words. And it is my honest opinion that business has not changed, it's business as usual, and that the Republicans on the other side of the aisle and the administration has woefully failed in the first test of collaboration. With that being said, however, as I voiced to Mr. Quattro a number of times, and I voiced to County Executive Maggie Brooks, I haven't given up hope. I will continue to try for collaboration. What collaboration truly is working together. It's trying to find common ground, acknowledge disagreement, and move forward for the best interest of the citizens and the taxpayers of this county. I will continue to exert my best effort in that regard, and I expect all others will as well.
Further comments? If not, accept the roll call vote, please.
Dr. Quattro.
Yes.
Mr. Bronson.
No?
Mr. Adair.
Yes.
Ms. Andrews.
No.
Mr. Barkley.
Yes.
Mr. Beebe.
No.
Mr. Cassetti.
Yes.
Mr. Colby.
Yes.
Mr. Daniele.
Yes.
Mr. Dobson.
Yes.
Mr. Driscoll.
Yes.
Mr. Eckel.
No.
Mr. Gamble.
No.
Mr. Gumina.
No.
Mr. Haney.
No.
Mr. Hannah.
Yes.
Ms. Kelly.
No.
Mr. LaFountain.
Yes.
Mr. Lee.
No.
Mr. Lightfoot.
No, sir.
Mr. McCann.
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien.
No.
Mr. Tucciarello.
Yes.
Mrs. Valerio.
Yes.
Mr. Yolovich.
Yes.
And President Zimmerman.
Yes.
1511 passes.